So you would like to improve your poker skills,
all in from Rampage,
but you find the prices for solvers and courses to be way above what you're willing to spend? Then you're in luck. I have found 5 really cool tools that will help you to improve your poker without spending a single cent. In this video, I will show you what these 5 tools are and how you can use them to get the most value out of them. And I'm sure that some of them will surprise you, especially the last one can transform your win rate, and it is usually a well-kept secret. My name is Andreas Wagner. I'm a live low-stakes professional poker player based in London, and I have used all of these 5 tools to great success. So here they are. Tool number 1 is something I have used a lot in the last couple of years. It is something that I wished had been around when I first started out with poker. Because when I first started playing this beautiful game, I didn't really know how to construct a range. I bet when I thought that I had a hand worth betting, and I checked when I thought that it would be best to play more passively. Talk about building a range. The concept resonated with me that you would balance some strong hands with weaker hands in both your betting and in your checking range. But I still didn't have a clue how to go about it. And then I found this amazing tool that lets you build your ranges for free. For example, on the flop, you can decide what part of your range you want to bet for value and which hands you want to check because they are marginal made hands or simply junk. The software then tells you what your percentage split is for all these options. This has helped me tremendously to start balancing my range. Regular training with this free tool will improve your understanding of c-betting and ultimately improve your win rate. Oh, and you can also use it as a post-flop caller. So the first free tool to improve your poker is the Range Analyzer on Jonathan Little's training platform, pokercoaching.com. If you want to try it out, I have left the link in the description below. But off to tool number 2. And this one solves a very different problem. Do you sometimes make a big semi-bluff on the turn and you wonder whether that was actually a profitable bluff or if you were just burning money? Then this is exactly the tool that lets you find out. So let me walk you through this example. On the turn, there are $300 in the pot. Your opponent bets $200 and you have a stack of $700 in front of you. All you have at the moment is king high, so you are most likely not good. However, you have a flush draw, so you assume that any remaining 9 flush outs will be good. With 1 card to come, that means that your equity is around 18%. If you shove now, you suspect that he will fold half of the time and will call the other half of the time. So you want to know if that would be a profitable shove. So let's plug in all the data. The pot size before we shove is $300 in the middle, plus the $200 that he bet, so that is $500. We have to call his $200, we are shoving for a total of $700 effective. And our estimated percent equity when called is 18. And the result is that villain needs to fold 44% of the time for us to have a profitable shove. As we said that we expect him to fold 50% of the time, this means that a shove would be profitable. If you play around with all sorts of scenarios, different stack sizes and equity percentages, then you will get a much better feel for bluffing. That's why this tool is so powerful. So tool number 2 is Red Chip Poker's Fold Equity Calculator. The link is also in the description below. The third free tool is very valuable on its own, but can also help with a fold equity calculator. It is also a calculator, but this one helps calculate your equity, whether it is hand versus hand, or hand versus range, or range versus range, or range versus hand. Whew, that was a tough one. Say you have ace-king offsuit and you'd like to know what your equity is against a typical big blind calling range against a cutoff open in a cash game. Just plug in the data and the software will tell you the result. Or say you play a tournament, the button jams, small blind calls, and you want to know what your equity is with pocket jacks against both of those ranges. It even tells you that pocket aces are actually an underdog to win against 5 other hands. This is the only one of the 5 tools that need to be downloaded, but you can do so for free. It is the Equilab by PokerStrategy.com. The next one is not a tool as such, but it is a free way to get something that normally costs around $30 or more. In this day and age, many poker players get their wisdom from videos on YouTube like this one, and thanks by the way for supporting the channel. And that is obviously great because you get loads of value for free. But the problem is sometimes that you can't really do structured learning with that. Therefore, a good old poker book that takes you through all the spots in the right order is sometimes the best way to learn a certain concept or skill. But poker books are among the most expensive books out there. Some of them can cost up to $50. What if I told you that you can get one of those books for free and you wouldn't even have to read it yourself because you would get it as an audiobook? Well, that is exactly what I did. You can choose from a range of audiobooks, whether that's books about the mental game or how to beat small stakes games or even old classics like The Theory of Poker. If you are a new customer or haven't used the platform for a long time, you are eligible to receive one free audiobook just for signing up. I'm not making any money from this, but I think this is a great way to get some free value, so that's why I'm recommending it. It is the free first audiobook with Audible. And now to the highly anticipated fifth and last free tool. You might have already worked with a solver, but in general the issue is that they are quite expensive. The cheapest version of the Pio solver is $249. GTO Wizard has a monthly subscription cost of between $39 and $129 depending on the plan you choose. And while GTO Plus is cheaper, it still has a price tag of $80. But there is a free option for you. So tool number 5 is GTO Wizard. But didn't I just say that it costs at least $39 per month? Well, yes, but there is a free version that allows you to use most of the premium features for free. The only restriction is that you have a limit of how much you can use them in a day or a month. For example, every single day you can play out an entire hand and see what the solver would do with a certain hand or range from pre-flop to the river. And then there are 2 additional very powerful features that you can use for free. One is the training function. Every day you can train up to 10 hands. You can decide what spot you'd like to practice, for example, c-betting in 3-bet pots out of position. This is one of the fastest and best ways to improve your poker fundamentals. And the second extremely interesting feature that you can access for free is their analyzing tool. Here you can give it 5 hands per month to analyze whether you played a hand correctly in GTO terms. You just copy and paste the hand history from a poker tracker, or if you don't have a tracker, or if it is a live hand, you can just type out the whole hand in a supported format. And then it will tell you on every street of the hand what the best option would be and how bad of a mistake you made. I would definitely use these 5 hands up every month for free. And if after a while you think that this is not enough and you would like to have unlimited attempts at all this, then you can get 10% off your first GTO Wizard purchase by registering with the link in the description below. But as you probably know, GTO is only part of what is important to succeed in poker. What's even more important is to know how to exploit your opponents. So here are my top 6 exploits to crush recreational players.